Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com and welcome back to the What a Vegan Eats daily vlogs. And I'm starting off my day with a really simple wrap. This has red lettuce, cucumber, red pepper, parsley, and green onions on top of a brown rice tortilla. And to add a little bit of flavor, I put a drizzle of olive oil, salt, and nutritional yeast. The usual. Those are like the three ingredients that go into almost every dish right now while I'm eating this low histamine, low fat diet. Just making sure that I feel full and satisfied is a little bit of a challenge these days, but I'm trying to get really creative. Yesterday, my favorite thing was the kabocha squash, so I think I'm gonna have to go buy more from the store. I've been wanting to buy butternut squash, but every time I go to the store, the butternut squashes are so massive and intimidating. I'm like, I don't want that much squash, but maybe I do. They're just so big. They even look like they'd be a pain to cut. The kabocha squash, on the other hand, are like mini little baby kabochas. So it's like, can't they just meet in the middle and both be like the medium size? Did any of you ever have that problem when you buy a certain produce and it's like too big or too small? And I guess it's better to be too small with produce because then you can just buy multiple pieces, whereas when it's too big it's like, well, you can sorry, my mind is going to inappropriate places. When the produce is too big, at least you could like cut it up into different pieces, but it's just like intimidating. Am I alone in that? And I'm the only one that's laughing at the innuendos here? Okay, I'm gonna go eat. See what I mean? These butternut squashes are huge! Look at this one! It's massive! This is the smallest one I can find. I got some more kabocha squash, and a yam, a potato, red peppers are on sale, broccoli, bok choy, carrot, and leek. I just got back from Whole Foods and I am so excited about some of the products that I got. Oh my gosh. I haven't been to Whole Foods in a little bit because I always go to this little local store near me, and so I went to Whole Foods to see if there were some products, more variety, and there were. Oh, it's so satisfying because I've been feeling like I've just been eating so simply lately. And let me show you what I got. So I told you about a lot of the produce while I was in the store. Additionally, I got some sesame rice crackers. It's kind of hard to find rice crackers without soy in them, so I was really thrilled to see this. There's one other brand that's like unsalted, but this has sesame oil and I think sesame seeds, and it's really tasty. Nice little salty snack. I realized that I can, I guess, technically have Daiya cheese on the low histamine diet. I think it's a little borderline, and it's definitely not healthy, but I've been craving just more texture, so I'm gonna make a quesadilla tonight. I'm so excited to have that. Of course, like, I'm almost out of tortillas and I have to go get more, but they weren't on sale at Whole Foods and they are somewhere else. Don't you hate that when you have to go to like 2 or 3 different stores to get all your products because they're on sale, but it's totally worth it because you don't want to waste the extra money? So I'm going to make one little quesadilla tonight. And okay, I knew that I was going to get this because I didn't realize that I could even have, well, I knew I could have this, but I forgot this product existed. Mochi, rice, and more rice. This is just rice and water. If you've never had mochi before, you have to try it. Now they have better flavors. This is just the plain. There are other flavors. They have a cashew and date, but I'm trying not to do any nuts right now. And they have a raisin and cinnamon. Can't do those. And then there was one other, I can't remember what it was, but I'm gonna do that, and I think I might add on something else to it because you can bake these in the oven, or you can even make mochi waffles. Sadly, I don't have a waffle iron, so I'm just gonna bake them and put something on it, or maybe like put a date inside, or I don't know, but I'm so excited. I love the texture of mochi. Speaking of rice, I found these, the Eco Pack organic rice puffs, and this is just brown rice. There's no sweetener to this, unlike the other brands, and there's no box. So it's more eco-friendly. Thank you, Nature's Path. And it was cheaper, too. It was like by at least $1, I think. Then I got some more hemp tofu by Tempt Living Harvest. And this is just their plain one. It's just hemp seeds. Seeds are a little borderline for me, but I seem to be doing okay with hemp. And then lastly, I didn't realize how clean these burgers were. I've had them before, but when I looked at the ingredients tonight, I was so thrilled to see these Hillary's burgers don't have any beans in them. This has millet and greens, so it's got so much nutrition in it. It has arugula, beet, chard, collards, dandelion, kale, parsley, spinach, which I'm technically not supposed to have right now, but there's probably like a couple leaves in here, so we'll see how I do. Coconut oil, hemp seeds, psyllium husk, arrowroot, and salt with some seasonings. I'm so excited to eat a burger! Ah! So excited to have variety. And I think that's it. So I'm gonna go make that quesadilla. Here it is, the quesadilla. So I cooked it up with no oil. I use this little pot top to keep, so when I started cooking it, it was completely open. And so I put this over the middle, which helped cook the cheese. Little tip there for you. And then I also used it at the end to kind of keep pressure on it so it cooked well. And it's just a brown rice tortilla with daya on it. Got a little crispy. And there's the daya inside, all nice and melty. Yum. Yum. I was going through my comments on the channel, and sometimes I feel a little discouraged by some of the comments. I just had a bunch from this one person talking about their opinion on certain foods and what I'm eating and all of that, and I just really wanted to say that, you know, this is a journey for me. I'm really experimenting and doing the best that I can, and right now it's just so important for me to make sure that I get enough calories and variety in my diet, and not to give up on it, the low histamine diet that is. It's really hard, and you've seen that there isn't a ton of variety in my diet right now. You know, I can't eat every single vegetable or every type of fruit right now. I'm not doing legumes. I'm not doing nuts. I'm barely doing seeds. It's like there's a lot of things that I'm not including in my diet, and really I'm trying to include things that satisfy me from a taste perspective, but also from a fullness perspective, and it's tough. For me right now, eating completely raw is not something I'm really drawn to, especially since it's still relatively chilly in LA, although not relative to the rest of the US, but it's cold here. I'm inside with my heater on right now. Of course, I'm wearing my yoga top, but anyways, the weather is a whole nother story, but you know, this is just a collection of my experiences eating. This is my honest lifestyle, and it's really hard to be vulnerable and share how I eat and what I do and these decisions that I make every day, but I do it because I feel like being open and honest is super important, and I want you to see me as a real person, not someone that like has all the answers and is polished all the time and whatever. I want you to know that we can all relate to one another and go through these journeys, and I think that you would find a lot of people that are public figures and experts and things like that. They probably do a lot of things in their day-to-day life that would surprise you, and I've certainly met a number of people that don't eat the way that I would have imagined them to, right? So I really just encourage everybody out there to not hold any judgment, and I also don't really want suggestions if they're telling me what not to do. My whole philosophy in terms of how I speak to others, but also what I like in my life, is to be told what I'm doing right and how I can improve, and focus on the positive, not the don't do this or that's wrong. And I also think it's so complex, you know.
without somebody being a doctor and being able to look at my blood tests and being able to really evaluate me, you just can't decide what is right for me or not, you know? And as I've said many times, I've been to a number of doctors, I've tried different diets. This has just been an ongoing journey. It's not that easy. One thing does not this hair is really bothering me right now. One thing does not work for everybody, you know, and there's so many different philosophies out there. It can feel so frustrating, confusing. You know, there's the Starch Solution by Dr. McDougall, and a lot of people really think that's great. There's the 80-10-10 diet by Doug Graham, and everyone thinks, oh, not everyone, a lot of people think that that's the way to go. And there's Chris Carr's philosophies, and there's Alicia Silverstone, and there's you know, the forks over knives perspectives, and then there's just the regular vegan books that don't have like health angles to them. You know, they're just qualifying the vegan diet as healthy in general, but they're not talking about like specific foods. There's a gluten-free, there's paleo, there's this, there's that. And listen, like the label that I put on myself right now is vegan. I don't put many other labels on it, or I try not to. I'm mainly gluten-free and I'm mainly soy-free, and right now I'm following a low histamine diet, but it's a day-to-day thing, and I really would love everybody's support here, and less, mostly there isn't a lot of judgment here, but sometimes I feel like I'm being judged, and that's really hard. Sometimes that makes me not want to record these videos, but I really want to stay super open. And I just feel like it's important to talk about this, how I'm feeling, and express that, and thank everybody who has been supportive and understanding, even though what I'm doing right now might seem a little bit wacky. I really am doing the best that I can every single day with what I know, and just trying to listen to my body and try new things and see how it goes. And I'm looking forward to easing out of the low histamine diet and seeing how I feel, but I don't think that there's going to be any answers anytime soon. I think that this is going to be a long committed thing, and I really would love to have you along through the journey, as long as you can, you know, embrace me for what I'm going through, and just look at it as a peek into my life from an honest perspective. So thank you for everybody that's been so supportive. I don't know if I'll be eating anything else today, but of course if I do, you'll be the first to know.